Hi guys, at the gym again. So I've been taking Kratom for, it's over 4.5 years. So February it'll be 5 years. It's a little ways away, but like 4.5 years. That's a good chunk of time, and I can happily say that I haven't had to increase my dose at all. In fact, I'm very much able to decrease it, you know, once a day, at least once a day, I take 1 teaspoon. But for the most part, especially in the mornings, because that's when I have the most pain, unless like I was really overdoing it, or I went out of town, long day, and maybe I dosed more frequently. But I never increase my dose. I never go above 2 teaspoons. Now, I'm not saying that's what everyone should do. That's personal. Whatever your dose amount is, that's personal. And again, I'm saying like within reason. I'm not talking about 160 plus grams a day. I don't ever condone anybody taking over half a pound of Kratom a day. That's nuts, and I will never, ever, ever support that, because that's just nobody needs that much Kratom ever, because again, there are small doses, medium-sized doses, and there's large doses. And hey, sometimes we need a large dose. Me, I definitely, I can honestly say that I have never, ever, since I've ever started Kratom, I have not once taken more than 2 teaspoons at a time. And that's the God's honest truth. I just don't want to. I don't need it. So, why go there? I'm scared to death that I'm going to have tolerance issues or something. Like, I'm just so grateful for this plant and the effects that it gives me and the relief that I get from it, that I'm always, trying to take less, because I just, I'm so grateful, and I work so hard because I want to be able to take Kratom forever. Like, if that's a realistic thing, I don't know, because most everything on the planet that helps pain, does lose its efficacy after a long time. But this is a long, long time. So that's always worth it, But again, like, I really think that if you do it right, I don't see why something could maybe last a lifetime. Maybe we can take this plant for the rest of our lives if we do it right. And maybe we only have to increase it by some. If you have to increase your dose and you've been taking it for like 8 years, come on now. That's okay. That's a long time to get good results and to have effectiveness and pain relief and all these great things that it does for you. If that lasted like that, the same dose for like 8 years or something or more, even 6 years. I'm thinking longer, but still, that's good. And say you have to increase a little bit more, okay. But again, that's not the goal, because again, we don't want to keep increasing. So we want to try to avoid that. Especially if, you're like in the first few years of taking it, that's very important. And so, yeah, so I'm proud, I'm glad. I really work hard at it. There's ways to avoid tolerance issues for most. And if you do all these things that I'm going to mention and it doesn't work for you, I'm sorry. And you are probably a rarity. And that sucks. that I would hate, to be like doing all these things and still have tolerance issues. And, if that's the case, then you should look for something else to take because, well, it's not going to, be successful for you, not long term. There's no way. You can't, that's anything in life though. I mean, let's be real. You can't realistically think that in taking something and taking more and more of it is going to lead to successful results. Like, that's just a dead end. That's for anything, though. You never want to just keep taking more and more and more of anything. It's just, that's not the way to life. That's a dead end, no matter what. And that is just the truth. So it has nothing to do with Kratom being bad or harmful or anything like that. That's just life. And anyway, so yeah, so be sure if you can take breaks, that's wonderful. Like, try and find something that you can take on your off days from Kratom. Like, if Akuma works well for you, that's great. Or try like the other versions of Kratom, like the Stem and Vein. There's 2 of them. One starts with a J, one starts with the H. I'm not even going to attempt to say them because I don't know. I'm not Hirsuta or something like that. And the other one is Shivanka or something like that. My apologies if I didn't say that perfectly, but those are really good. So take that on your off day. That's what I'm gonna do. But I do have some other things that I can take, and so I know, I realize not everybody does. If you don't, at least like buy Kratom from like at least 3 different vendors, and then just make a rotation, and like for a week take Kratom from one particular vendor, and then at the end of that week, for the next week, switch to a different product or different vendor's product, and then so on, and then just keep doing that, until you make it back to your first vendor, and that helps. And then you can also switch strains. So some people don't agree with this, but like I don't like the blends, and don't hate me for saying that, but in my mind, I don't think that you're giving yourself a break from any particular strain when you do that. Unless you take like a red and white. I don't even know if that's a possible blend. I just don't do blends. Okay, well, correction though. Okay, I do mix like red and white together. So if there was a blend, I guess, yeah, I would do that. But I mean, I don't like the ones that have like all the strains, like Trainwreck or something. Like, no, I mean, I'm sure that's great. I'm sure that's really killer Kratom. But I just like to make sure that I'm giving my body a break from one particular strain or color, like each time I switch, if that makes sense. So, that's just me. And so, you gotta do what you gotta do and what you believe in. But yeah, so just switching strains, switching vendors, that's good. So do all those things and keep rocking it. And again, Kratom does not get you high. It does not impair you. It doesn't intoxicate you. If Kratom, these anti-Kratom people, I gotta go back to them. I tell you, the things that come out of their mouths is so ridiculous, and it's so harmful. Something that I read the other day, and it just blows, this chick, she's all, Kratom takes the soul out of you. When I heard that, I thought, especially, with me being a former psychiatric and mental health nurse, and by the way, I am going back to school, and I'm going to get my degree, Bachelor's of Science, baby. I'm doing it in behavioral health with emphasis in trauma. Yes, I am doing this. But anyway, so my point is, I have a ton of psych experience. I'm gonna have even more in the very near future. And let me tell you, if you took Kratom and you believe that it took your soul, you definitely had mental issues before you started taking Kratom. Nothing on this planet just takes your soul. You have to be pretty lost to begin with. You know, I don't believe that. And the sad and harmful thing is a lot of people, you know, do have psychiatric issues, and they take substances to numb that battle and that pain that comes with psych issues. They are real. It's horrible. It's, you know, there's so many people that battle with psychiatric issues, and, you know, gosh, I just want them to go get help. Like, reach out, you know, seek therapy. Don't stop seeking therapy until you find a therapist that matches and clicks with your personality, because you will find her or him. It just takes time to find the right one. And when you find the right social worker, they can do wonders. Like, you can really get just so much out of it. You can heal. Your brain can process whatever it is that you need to process, and you know, and your life can be better. My point is that, again, you know, a lot of people, like, if you have mental issues, then it's not the Kratom that's giving you the mental issues that you already had to begin with. However, when somebody does have significant psychiatric issues or illness, then they are more prone to negative side effects. So, you know, because their minds, they're vulnerable, just like with pot. If someone has, you know, really significant psych issues, they're more at risk for going on a bad trip. Now, is that the marijuana's fault? No, not necessarily. It's just, it's not good for their brain chemistry because they have psych issues. It doesn't mean that we go and ban marijuana. Same thing with Kratom. Same thing with other things, other substances. You know, we're not gonna lock these things under key. We don't need babysitters. We need good mental health care, and we need to think and act like adults and try and help ourselves, and not just, you know, blame herbs and medications. Again, if you do have significant psych issues, you have to be very careful in what substances you put into your body, because you are at higher risk, you know, for maybe a negative reaction to occur. But I love you guys, and Kratom is helping millions upon millions of people, and we have to keep fighting, and we have to keep spreading the truth so people know the truth and they're not misled by lies. Okay? We have to protect our herbs, and Kratom is one of those herbs that needs the most protection at all, or of all. I'm sorry. Let me repeat that. We have to protect our herbs from our government and FDA, because they are coming for our dietary supplements. They've already amended, you know, the DSHEA Act. Not good. They want to have control over our holistic alternatives. Kratom is one of our holistic alternatives. Kratom is an herb that needs the most protection of all. We have to fight so hard. I know people are tired, but we can't give up. Okay, follow the AKA. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, southeastbeautiful.com. I'm always writing about it. I'm on LinkedIn also. So I love you guys. Bye.